Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to another episode of E1M9, the new gaming show on YouTube. And first off, I'd like to thank everybody who tweeted the hashtag E1M9. You guys are our first featured tweeters ever on E1M9. And joining me today is our first guest on E1M9. Welcome, Jared. Just Jared? Or should I call you by your full name, just Jared?
Yeah, Frankie, yeah, just go ahead and skin that cat, and, we'll put it over there with the rest of it. Alright, what were we doing? Like some kind of...
This is, Jared, our Vietnamese filmmaker here. Let's hear it from everybody. Let's hear it.
Yeah,
we're
Vietnamese.
clapping.
It's
just me. Never mind. This is off to a great start. Welcome to E1M9, everybody. Here I am joined today by our very own SuperMarioMovieMaker on YouTube, longtime YouTuber and producer on CN'P for the Halo 5 series of the show. On screen right now is a couple of behind the scenes and body acting sessions that we've had over the last 2 weeks, which over 30 to 40 different people showed up and got their chance to be in CN'P and future CN'P episodes, which we will be having in the month of May every week. Along with Jared's help here, we're going to be putting together some great things for the show in the future, but that's not exactly what we're here to talk about today. Jared, would you like to tell the folks at home what the topic of today's E1M9 is for gaming, per se, gaming filmmaking?
Today, class, we're gonna talk about why a game like Halo 5 has amazing things and why it also is the worst nightmare that you've had since you were a little kid.
But Jared, if you don't like Halo 5, you don't like Halo.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, it's and because I don't like Halo. I hate Halo. What am I doing this Halo show? You know what? I'm just gonna leave. You know what? Just forget it.
Yeah, like, why have I been here for 8 years if I don't like Halo? Like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Like, gosh, I just never realized. The dry sarcasm is real, folks. If you guys cannot realize that at home, I'm sorry. We got to make that very clear before we move forward and get sued. Anyway, basically today's episode of E1M9 is covering the pros and the cons of Halo 5 filmmaking. I mean, like Jared said before, there is a lot of things in Halo 5 that it has to offer for future Machinima filmmaking that I'm very excited to explore. But, I mean, there is a whole slew of negatives that could be fixed in no time, but nobody wants to pick up the suggested fixes, and we'll be getting into that just a little bit later. But right now, we'd like to go over a little bit of our story with the game, and I think, Jared, I'd like to start with you, because while we're talking about this right now, I'd just like the word to be known that Jared here is the one on screen in CN'P as the Mark V body actor for the majority of the shots in the first episode, and he is also editing the shots together, because we had this crazy setup of filmmaking that we were trying to do where I was going to do the shots in Mark 6 armor and send it over to him to do in Mark 5 armor to send back to me, and it was going to be crazy, but we figured out a different filming method, and we're going to be pushing forward. But right now, he's putting together the first episode just because he had a lot of the footage together. But, Jared, give the people a little description of your time with the game when you started.
Right. Before I get to that, though, I'd like to also mention that for the time being, I'm also Richard.
Yes.
Because
that helmet is a freaking nightmare to unlock as well.
Yeah, because, we didn't have enough nightmares.
Legendaries everywhere.
Just nightmares everywhere. I can't sleep. That's why we're doing this at 2 in the morning. Anyway. So, I pretty much got the game right at, launch day. And I went straight in. The first thing I do whenever I get a Halo game is go through the campaign. Because I like to see where the story goes and like just what they add to it and all that. The story, well, it's shit. That's just put it plain and simple.
It's shit. Yeah, that sums it up.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. There's
There's gonna be a couple people in the comments that are like, Jared, down with Jared.
down with me because I have an opinion.
Oh, let's bring back Joseph Staten to write Halo 6. That's what I'm saying. But please continue.
But the story was just bad. There was a lot of stuff that relied on stuff in like written materials for the game for the thing to make sense, and I'll just go ahead and say that I haven't read any of that, so like none of that.
I've delved into it. I've had it summarized for me plenty of times, but I've never personally taken a look at the actual like physical material in front of me. So
yeah.
But I mean, I've got the surmised version, especially with like the Didac and post Halo 4, before Halo 5 sort of deal with Blue Team and their efforts, the other Halo Ring, and etc. A whole different thing that you would never hear about because it's not in the game. And by the time you play Halo 5, there's a lot of story that they built up in Halo 4, even with like Spartan Ops. They built up that whole Jul Amdama character, and he's dead in the first cutscene. You don't even get to fight this guy. Like, he just dies in the cutscene in the end. Like, you guys built up this character for like 3 years, like 3 or 4 years. And now he's dead in a cutscene. Like, not even by... I mean, yeah, the character I was playing killed him, but... not even, like, by my own effort. I just get to watch it happen. Like, are you serious right now? Like, this is some basic stuff from Halo 2 that, you killed that Prophet. You did that yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure, in Halo 3, you kind of watch the Arbiter do it, but, that was a little more like a sentimental sort of thing, especially with the changing of the sides of the Flood at that point. But, the whole thing is just, it feels like there's a lot of lacking features. Surmising the campaign overall, I don't want to spoil it entirely. Maybe there's some crazy people out there that don't know what happened. Go look it up on YouTube. I mean, yeah, just shit. It's up there probably.
Just know that Hunt the Truce is bullshit.
Yeah, I tell you what, I really enjoyed that, but I'm really upset that none of that got into the game. Like, that covert, like, authoritarian government crap, like, that the Hunt the Truth thing was selling. Like, I was like, oh, hell yeah, like, so Master Chief is going rogue, and he's gonna fight the human government? Like, oh, shit. Like, and then, nope, just no.
There was none of that. Just know that.
Why would you build it up like that?
Just so you don't go in with the wrong idea. Because I did. And,
yeah, if you, kind of cared about that and were like, oh, wow, I'm going to be excited for the direction Halo 5 takes. And then, yeah. But, regardless of the story, what we're mainly here to talk about today is the actual, like, mechanics. The thing is, being like a filmmaker with Halo, every new edition of Halo that comes out, the first thing somebody like myself does is takes a look at everything you can do, because there's so many different options over the years that have been in Halo games and that have been taken out of Halo games as they like move on. Like, a lot of it's very detrimental to like the filmmaking. Like, some Halos are just absolutely not good for it. I mean, maybe as like a one-off sort of like clip or short, but not for like an entire series or a show that you really want to bring character to, or like get some really good sets together and like elaborate show pieces or like effect bases that you want to build off of. A lot of the stuff that Halo 5 has to offer is a lot better than the previous ones in terms of green screens and the machinima mode with live footage in game, but it also has its great list of cons. And
let's just start with the obvious. Sorry, what? Were you saying something? I wasn't saying anything.
What is Halo 5's biggest problem for you, Jared? For like filmmaking wise, I mean, this mainly, I don't want to like be detrimental to the gameplay in this episode. I mean, the gameplay after a while is very repetitive if you're trying to unlock some armor. I'm going to be full and honest with that, and that's the only part I'll go into on that. I mean, when it comes to unlocking the armor in this game and being a machinima person, how do you feel about the whole thing, Jared?
Well, see, the way I feel, like there's all these things, like the way that you have to do this, like in order for a machinimator to get anywhere, they have to have armor, like different kinds of armor for their characters, especially if it's an ongoing series from game to game. And when you have this system like rec packs, it's like you're going to Vegas, like roulette shit. Like, oh yeah, what am I gonna get this time? Oh, not the thing I wanted. But
Yeah.
like but you also there's like a 20-minute line every time you want to go back up there. So you go up there. Oh, it's not what I wanted. You go back in line. You finally get back. Oh, it's still not what I wanted.
But if you pay $5.99, you can skip to the front of the line
Yeah.
as much as you want.
But it's like you just keep doing this over and over.
Like,
and
for anybody who's not getting the context here, here's how Halo 5's armor system works. Like, okay, so you've got... Alright, I'm just going to give you an example with the helmets, alright? You got like 290 helmets in this game, alright? About 30 of those are in a category called Common. That's going to be the easiest unlock you're going to have. So if you open a bronze rec pack, which costs 1,250 credits, like rec points, right? You're going to unlock mostly common and perhaps some uncommon from that pack. The silver is the step up from the bronze. Silver costs 5,000 or 299 if you want to pay real money. Or is it 199?
That's $199.
Yeah, that's 199. Sorry, I'm thinking a step ahead. Derp. But the silver is 199. If you pay for that with actual money, then you unlock the silver just as if you did with 5,000 rec points. The problem is you only get like uncommon. You can get commons in the silver also, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
I mean, commons could happen in any pack. You could even get commons in a gold pack, right?
Yes, commons can happen in any pack. And like the method that you would typically go through.
Yeah, the method you go through, like, well, you did it. You did it before I did.
Yeah, you like what you want to do. I mean, this method still takes forever because, and
yes.
we'll go on that in a second. What you have to go through to get through in somewhat of a decent time frame and a decent manner, like in order to get somewhere without spending like eons just pouring your life into this game. Like, you want to start with bronze packs only until you max out on it, and it's just giving you extra rec points instead.
Yeah, every time it gives you extra recs, you move up to the next one.
Yeah.
And then like you sit on silver until you get like, yeah, I'm getting like rare armor every time, and then like by the time you finish up with the rare category of that armor or that set or whatever, then you gotta go to gold so you can unlock the ultras and the legendaries.
Yeah.
And so like there's about like 30 to like 50 armor like pieces like in terms of body armor and helmets in like every category. And basically if you want to get all the armor, you're going to end up spending less rec points if you do it that way from bronze to silver to gold, instead of just getting golds every time and wasting your recs just to possibly unlock stuff from the previous lower categories from like a gold pack or from a silver pack even. So, I mean, overall, while it does feel like it takes a lot more time, you end up saving a lot of recs overall doing that. But the problem is some of it is absolutely impossible to unlock after putting hundreds of hours into the game.
Like, I want to address this real quick. Like, what, like my current, I'll just look at my customization. I've got like 92% on the helmet. I've got 93% on armor and 98% on visor. And that's, like, I've made a lot of progress, but
That's not without
I played
paying.
this game religiously as a chore, like without, like this was how I had to do it. Like, I was just constantly in this game, constantly going through, and even through this, I was like breaking down, and I had to like just to give myself a motivation booster for like a second. Like I would pay for like some kind of like thing just to get me a little bit of like get me through it. Like this was not all done for free in the time frame I got it done. I spent money, and
Spent a lot too.
it was a
Like,
good amount of
I'm
money.
summarizing over $50. Like you don't have to give the exact amount, but I'm just gonna say it was over $50, right?
It was yeah.
So you paid for the game and double the price of the game just to have as much armor as you have at the level you're at,
Yeah.
essentially. Because I mean, I see people at like a level like 124 who didn't put any money in, and they're still like at like 82%. Like you've got more armor than a lot of people that I've seen at higher ranks because, you know, you finally broke down and you were like, fine, just take it, take my money. Like I just want the armor, like, you know.
It's like yeah. I mean I don't know this is just how it had to be done in order for me to get somewhere and not like put the whole show on hiatus.
Yeah, because for a while it was looking like, oh, maybe we'll just use Mark 6 and someday we'll have Mark 5. And you were like, fuck that noise. Like, no, this is going to happen. Like, I cannot thank you enough because, like, before this, it was really looking like it was going to be Mark 6. And we were even using Mark 6 in our filming sessions with people online.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, those for anybody wondering out there who was at those sessions, those shots came out very good still, regardless of the Mark 6 character on the field or whatever. We still got a lot of great shots. Me and Jared were reviewing those, and a lot of great things, a lot of great chroma angles, and where the Star Wars one especially is it's had a lot of improvements after our filming sessions. So thank you to everybody for coming out to those and putting up with us at those. But
yeah,
it's just this whole thing. It's really depressing because you have to pay $25 for this pack. It gives you 2 wrecks like every other week, every week. And basically these wreck packs come with like rare unlocks and etc. And you also get the Mark 5 if you pay the $25. So you got to pay half the game price to guarantee that you're going to have the Mark 5 unlocked and not have to play 300 to 400 hours to actually get it unlocked.
Oh, and you know what? Just to say, like, as far as that goes, like, all this work that I put into this, it was almost for nothing, except for the Richard helmet, because we got that out of this.
Yeah, I mean, with all the unlocks you got, that it made the legendaries a lot easier to unlock or come across at least, right? I mean,
yeah,
you probably get them a lot more than you would have, like, with all the other stuff, you know, locked still, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm pretty much at almost all legendary at this point. Like the thing with this was, we basically... Like I spent all this money trying to get myself forward, and then this thing comes with like this arena rec pack system, and that was $25, and then I immediately had the helmet I needed. So I just spent all that money trying to get to that helmet when it turned out that I could just pay that, which didn't exist at the time.
Which is bullshit.
It's like thank you for essentially just taking like whatever money I have and then just now you can do this. By the way, I hope you didn't spend a whole lot of money because now what the fuck.
And it's not only that, like, this is a really basic armor, okay? And now what am I saying? No, I love the Mark 5 armor, alright? That's my favorite armor. I mean, that's why I'm freaking out about this. And people are like, oh, just pay the $25, get it over with, man. Look, I've paid $500 for this console. I paid $50 for the Master Chief Collection that didn't work. And I paid $50 for Halo 5 that didn't even feel like a full game when it got released. It's missing basic features that were on day 1 discs over 10 years ago. Like, where are these features? You know what I mean? You got Infection just getting announced today. Like, yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to it. But, hey guys, it should have been there in the first place. You guys had 3 years, okay? You guys had 3 years to work on this. Where's the day 1 playlist for Infection? It's not there. You guys already lost like 70,000 people playing this game. You guys don't have Infection yet until now. Like, you're not going to bring back those 70,000 people. I'm sorry. But I mean, that's just beside the point. The whole problem with this I'm having right now is the fact that it's such a basic armor. Like in Halo 3, yeah, you could have gotten that in like less than a week. You know, you put in like 30, 40 games, you win 30, 35 games or something like that, you unlock it if you get to the high enough rank. It was basically default armor if you played Halo 3 enough. Then you got Halo Reach. You know, it was a bit harder. It cost like 120, 180,000 credits or something like that, 145. I don't remember the exact number because it was so long ago when I unlocked it. I mean, it's not going to take you a whole hundreds and hundreds of hours to unlock that if you really put your time and your credits towards it, you know what I mean? You could play for maybe like a week or two and build up that amount of credits and build up the rank high enough to unlock that, you know? You're not going to be sitting here for hundreds of hours to hopefully get it from a slot machine or pay $25, half the game's price.
Yeah, not to mention the amount of time that it took for me to get here. Like, in the time frame that I got it done, like, there was at least like a month break in there because I just had a mental breakdown. Yeah. I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
It got to a point where Halo 5 felt like a chore. Like, I honestly, I still have this happen to me where it's like, you know, because I do other things. I don't sit around and just play Halo. Like, a lot of people might think different, but no. I honestly, like, if I get on Halo, it's to film some shots or get the daily wins and get off. Like, sometimes I'll play with customs, like, with fans or whatever, especially after fan film nights where, you know, after we've done, like, filming, I'll play some custom games or for some free-for-alls or some Team Slayer or, you know, even some big team. It don't matter, but, you know, when it comes to having to play to get Rex to hopefully unlock that armor, it feels like a chore. Like, it doesn't even feel fun. Like, I'll go into Warzone Assault, okay? Because Warzone Assault, regardless of what team you're on, if the match runs for over 10 minutes, you're gonna get like 1,000 to 1,200 Rex every single time, regardless of if the team wins or loses that you're on. So I'll go into Warzone Assault and just pray, yeah, I hope this goes to the second round. I don't care if my team loses and we're defending, or if my team loses and we're attacking. I just want it to go to the second round, so I'm guaranteed 1,200 rec points. Now, sure, you'll get a few more rec points if you actually win, so I do try to pull off the win. But you're not always getting really good people in Warzone. It's more like a social playlist, you know what I mean? There's really no basis on rank because it's not a ranked playlist. It's just a social sort of game type, right? But the thing is, I go in there, and I don't have any motive to play. Yeah, I just want the Rex. This gives me the quickest Rex in the quickest time. And that's terrible. It's terrible because, like, after all these years of playing Halo, like, I never thought I'd be like, yeah, and then on Halo 5, it felt like a chore to just get my rec points for the day and then play, like, 2 or 3 games and win and get off. Like, you know how pathetic that is? Like, after being a fan since 2003, like, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, seeing this game, all these previous installments being so lively and like it would bring a room to like absolute joy. There would be very little like,
yeah, Halo was such a
anger.
social game. You could have people over and play it. Like, I remember I had a LAN once where it was like, you know, you got like 2 people in one room, 2 people in the other room, you hook up 2 Xboxes and you do like doubles even, just, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with the people that have grown up with it. I mean, you know, I've been to Halo gatherings and like, you know, actual like tournaments and stuff and seen all types of different people just gather around an Xbox, like regardless of if they're a jock or if they're a nerd or, you know, like whatever social status, whatever, gaming brings us closer together, and Halo's been proven time and time again to be able to do that. But when you have basics that are literally just not being added in until months and months later, that were literally like selling points of some of the games. You don't have day 1 Forge. You got Forge in December. It's like, cool. The game came out in October. So October, November, December. So like, you know, like 2 months without Forge. Okay, so, you know, maybe about like 30% of the players' populations dropped off in that point. It depends, you know. A lot of people were waiting around a long time to make maps. And then, you know, Forge came out. Well, there's no extra game types with Forge. You just have the Slayer and the Cache of the Flags, and it's like, well, that's great, but we've been playing that for months. Where's, like, Assault? Where's Griffball? Where's, like, Zombies? Where, you know what I mean? Like, where are all these game types? Where's Juggernaut? You know, where's King of the Hill? You know? Oh, well, you got Strongholds. Yeah, that's great. Where's King of the Hill? You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't understand. That comes, like, 4 years later, when we decided to finally put it out. Say, I don't know, like
4 years. It sounds about right.
No, wait, never mind, because it'll already be on Halo 7. by that point.
My whole problem is the fact that, like, I don't even think it's like 343 where they're like, yeah, we're purposely fucking up this game. Yeah, great job, guys. Like, no, okay? Like, before anybody thinks, like, geez, Alexo's, like, real pissed at, like, 343. Yeah, I joke around all the time and, like, knee-jerk or whatever. Like, but realistically, at the end of the day, I'm not, like, 343 ruined Halo. Because they're not the people that set these deadlines where it's like, okay, guys, you have, like, a year and a half to work on this game. Good luck. Like... And then they get like 200 to 300 people like running around like they're like chickens with their heads cut off, and they're like, oh, how are we gonna put out this game? Shit. And then by the time the game comes out, it's missing like half the content because you got a team of like 20 or 30 guys that they pulled together the game while it was halfway through development. The team went to work on the next game, you know, and so they were just like, yeah, since we're so close to the end of the development on this, we're just gonna take 40 guys and put them together, and then take the rest of the dev team and put them on the next project. Like, you know, I can't even believe that Halo 5 is missing all these game types and all this stuff, and they had 3 years to work on this game. Now, the problem is a lot of people bring forward is they're like, well, you know, Alex, they're using the Xbox One for the first time. You know, these guys have never really worked with this hardware before. It was new at the time. And I can understand that with a lot of the developers, especially switching over programming and all the specs and everything that goes into that. You know, I'm not an expert in that field, so I can't truly complain about something like that because I'm not, you know, knowledgeable in that sort of material. But what I can say is that these guys did have 3 years to work with this stuff, and while they did do a lot of things to try and push forward and make this Halo like revolutionary in a lot of sort of aspects, like the 24 multiplayer servers, like where you got 24 players simultaneously, a lot of different environments that are extended and bigger in the campaigns, and even the different areas. A lot of the things they took out were detrimental things that should have been there and were expected to be there, and they weren't. And it's just a great disappointing factor to the game overall.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even go over the fact that, like, going through all this stuff with, going into these multiplayer things and all that, that stuff is also made so much worse by the fact that almost every map has a clone or is a clone of another map.
Yes.
You wouldn't think right away that this would be that big of a problem, but when you're going into these maps and it's just like the same thing every time. It's like, okay, so then alright, and now we're gonna, okay, so it's like you start expecting things to be that way, and it just becomes mundane, and it makes it, it takes out any life that could have been there.
Oh, we have 8 maps in this playlist. 4 of them are the one versions of the maps, and 4 of them are the other versions of the maps. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so you don't have 8 maps in this playlist. You have 4 maps. Like, don't bullshit me. These are just remixes of the other maps. Like, when they came out with Overgrowth, that's Plaza. It's Plaza with a hallway in the middle, and it looks different. That's it. It's the same layout. It's got the same callouts. You know what I'm saying? The map they just announced today, or yesterday, whenever this goes out. They had a stream a couple days ago. That map looks just like the map they released in the previous update. So it's just the same map with a snow look, instead of being in space. Same layout, you know, same sort of feel. I'm sure maybe some of the weapons are a little tweaked and different, but it's just the same exact layout. Like, what? Okay, so you guys made a snow version. Like, congrats. I could have done this in Forge if you guys gave me the option, but, like, no.
It's like, no, we'll take care of it so you have more mundane things to deal with, you know?
I was reading, and they did add a lot of, like, wind options and a lot of, like, foliage and scenery with the new Forge updates, and those are things I can totally welcome. Is adding more after the game's been released. Like, absolutely. Yes, that's what I've been striving for since Halo 3 days, back when I was like, yo, put the lowering the weapons in the game. You know, you shouldn't have to be on a LAN to do that. And they finally did go and do that, and I can't thank 343 enough for doing that sort of thing for the Machinima community. But when you have a game like Halo 5 where it comes out, and it's missing, like, Forge, it's missing, like, you know, weapon lowering features and even like other stuff, like when you have a show like CN'P that's trying to get produced like for a certain time frame and you got so many people waiting around, and then you make it impossible not only to get the body armor, not only to put the elite characters in because there's no elites, you know, because out of the fucking, you know what, that's a whole different episode in itself, but out of the 3 Halo games that the elites haven't been featured in, 2 of those games are 343s, and guess which ones they are? Halo 4 and Halo 5. The other one was Halo ODST. Alright, now that's kind of obvious because you're playing it as an ODST. But I would just like to make note that the only other 2 games that the elites got shafted from as playable characters were 343 games. And it's ridiculous. Like, this was a thing that sold Halo 2. Yeah, you could play as an elite. Like, yeah, you could play as the Arbiter in the campaign. That was a selling point of that game. And they've just taken it out and scrapped it out. And they're like, oh, we're going to make this our own. Blah, blah, blah. No, you're taking out basic features that were literally, like, selling points of your game. You guys are nuts. And it's got to be addressed through the community. Because, I mean, there's so many people asking for the elites back. And they're just giving us deaf ears. And it's ridiculous.
But, you know, like, one of the biggest things, like, even bigger than elites, like, honestly, there's no split screen. Why would there not be split screen in this game? Like, that has been something literally since the first Halo where you have split screen. Like, this has been...
Oh, but it's gotta run at 60 frames. It's revolutionary. Oh.
And to that argument, I say it doesn't run at a constant 60 frames per second, because if you get far enough away from a character, their frames start to drop down to like 30.
Yeah, and we noticed that filmmaking.
And earlier on in the game, like, or in the game's development, or what, I'll just call it that, because the game wasn't finished when we got it, back then, the frame rate of distant characters was like 15, if even less than that. It's like, yeah, okay, good, yeah, constant 60 frames per second, my ass.
Yeah, and the fact that they're still trying to portray it like that, like, it's very obvious from footage that, like, they run at, like, 15, 20 frames when they get, like, more than, like, 200 meters from you. And it's very noticeable for, like, filmmaking, especially. Like, I think we've even had a few shots where, like, I'm coming in from, like, the statue from the school, and that shot when you're driving in on the mongoose, and when he gets off the mongoose, it's like all clippy looking and weird, and it's like, what? Oh yeah, because I have to get closer to the guy because, you know, it doesn't run at 60 frames when you're that far away. Like, why would it do that, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
So, bottom line is, why are they pushing the 60 frames thing, but then at the same time taking out a basic thing that's been in Halo forever? Literally. Like, the first time I played Halo was split-screen campaign with my cousin. That's how I started playing Halo, was through split screen. And they went and got rid of it. Like, it's crying worthy, you know?
Yeah, and, like, when you take that away, you also, like, with the way that Halo 5 is structured, you're also taking away any ability for this game to survive after you shut down the servers.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to, like, make there be an... If you're not going to give us split screen, at least give us an offline capability to, like, not have to be online to play.
There isn't even a LAN
things.
feature. Like, you can't just take an internet cable and hook up 2 Xboxes just through the cable and play on a LAN. Like, this is some basic shit you could do at the 360. Just hook up the cables and you're good. You're on a LAN, you know what I mean? But no, with the Xbox One, it's like, what? You have 2 consoles and you have 2 versions of Halo 5, but you're not connected through Xbox Live? Sorry. And it's the same issue with the Master Chief Collection. These games featured LAN, and they don't have LAN? Like, what the hell is this crap?
It's like...
It's ridiculous. I keep saying it's ridiculous, but it's just
crazy. I mean, because it is.
Up?
It's like there's no reason to get rid of this other than, Xbox Live. Go buy it. Going back to the money
we've been
thing.
We've been going on for like the last 40 minutes about the positives and the negatives, right? Or well, mostly the negatives. But I mean, there are positives, but at the same time, like, all the stuff we've discussed and all the timing that it's taken, like, here we are in April. We started this endeavor in October. The armor we were going for wasn't even available until, like, December or January. So we've had literally hundreds of hours trying to go for one armor that has been almost unattainable up until just recently, like, literally, like, the last week or 2. And that's just for one of us. And so now, like, even for somebody like me who wants to get shots, I gotta rely on somebody else, and so, like, the overall production stretches further, but when it comes to, like, unlocking a basic helmet like the Mark V, it shouldn't be a freaking legendary unlock, and there needs to be an answer to, like, fix this. Like, there is a solution, and I've thought about it. Like, nobody's gonna pick up on it for some reason because it's too good of an idea, I guess. It's like a rec select, where, like, you get a card in your rec pack where it's like, congratulations, you can unlock an armor from a certain category, whatever armor you feel like. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I got a legendary rec select card. So I can select a legendary helmet or a legendary armor or a legendary visor. Like whatever legendary thing I want, you know? Now this isn't exactly like a common thing that just happens, you know what I mean? Like you might get it from like a daily win and like one in like 8 chance or something. Like, you know, you play for a week or two and you'll get like one maybe, you know?
Yeah.
But still, like, it makes you feel accomplished. If you're like us, where it's like we've been going for that one armor, we got that one thing we gotta get, and that's it. Like, I've put so many rec points into gold packs and even some money, and it's just like, do you know how shitty it feels to get a gold pack and get an uncommon visor from a gold pack? You're not gonna feel any shittier, right? Do you know how great it would be after playing like 200-300 hours? You know how great it would be to get a card that says like, congrats, you can choose the armor you want from this category and don't need to hopefully get it at this casino shop bullshit. I think it's a great idea, and it can be added to the game because it's pretty obvious that stuff can be added to the game. There's no excuse for something like this not being able to be added, except for the fact that, oh, well, the way it is right now makes us more money. And that's bullshit, because this is a basic fucking helmet that was a basic fucking unlock in the basic fucking versions of Halo that was made way before you guys even existed. So I think you owe it to the previous version of Halo to make it a lot easier for the face, literally the face of Halo, that fucking helmet, to be more attainable by more people than what it is right now, without paying $25.
And you know what? On top of that, it's like, if money means more to you than something like the game, perhaps, you know, like the thing that you're selling, then what the fuck are you doing making games? Like, get out of here. I don't want to see you if you're here to profit and not make a good game.
Well, like I said before, like, I don't think that every single person at 343 is like, yeah, we're fucking up Halo.
Right,
great job, guys.
right,
Like,
and
no.
I agree.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
there are definitely
Ultimately,
people who
they're not the
care.
ones that make the decision on deadlines or how the entire team is structured, even. Like, you know what I mean? You have the higher-ups at Microsoft that come in and are like, this is what we're doing this year, guys. If you guys can't put up with that, then go. You get out. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? That's how the game industry works. To sit around and be like, oh, well, Halo 5 is good, but they'll get it next time. Like, no, that's exactly what you guys said with Halo 4. That's exactly what we said with Master Chief Collection. Halo 5 was the third game from them that was a major Halo title. You can argue all you want about Master Chief Collection being like a tie-over or whatever. Bullshit. They put that out. That was fucking 4 Halo games. That's not forgettable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't
So
just
you had
gloss
3
over
chances,
that.
all right? And on the third chance, we got a game that was kind of underbaked and has a lot of problems and a lot of glaring issues and a lot of things I brought forward and Jared has brought forward today in this episode that may help the game in the future, that hopefully it has. But the more and more this stuff is put in and implemented and just put up with, the more and more that looks bleak for the rest of the game's lifetime.
For whatever lifetime it has left, as long as it's online exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we should start trying to get this wrapped up here.
Because
this has been quite a long episode this time. This is almost double the time of our first one. This is incredible.
This is amazing.
109. It's almost an
so
hour long.
We like talked
This is
about.
almost an hour-long series just on our second episode. It's pretty incredible.
It's pretty great.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I like to thank the Academy.
Jared for being the guy with the Mario picture, and the Machinima community that's somehow floundering at the thought of Halo 5 being the future of CN'P. Yeah.
Hey, Peter. Hey, what are you doing over here? I was.
Well, it's very late at night, and we've just been bitching about Halo 5 for like the last hour, so you know it's fine.
Yeah, Peter.
No, but I mean, you know, a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, you talk so much shit, like, so you just don't like it?" And I'm like, well, I never said like I hate the game, but I just hate shit about the game, which might make me say out loud I hate the game, but ultimately, like, I don't, you know, like, I enjoy the fact that they added the Halo 1 pistol. Like, people have been asking for that for ages, and they finally just up and like added it to the game. So yeah, they did that finally. Or you know, a lot of the things that they've done with, like, the multiplayer, I really do enjoy how Halo 5's mechanics work with, like, the ground pounds and the thrusters, and they went back to that simple sort of feature where it was like, yeah, everybody spawns with the same loadout, everybody has the same sort of setup, like, there's none of that bullshit where, like, in Halo 4, where everybody has their custom loadouts or whatever, like, they took Halo back to that sort of feel. And so in that sort of regards, like, I really like Halo 5's gameplay. I really like the competitive scene for it. I'm really excited for the next season of the HCS. But when it comes to this sort of shit, and the field that I work on for, like, everybody on the channel here, and the field that Jared's worked on for everybody on the channel here, and, like, plenty of other Machinima people out there who, like, right now, even in the Machinima community, people are arguing, like, is Machinima dead? Well, no, Machinima's not dead by any means, but when you got shit like this coming from the developers, just making it harder for, like, a little film company, like, even like us to make a series, or, people like Rooster Teeth, when they make a Halo Machinima, they have no short of money. They can afford the $600 an Xbox, that's not a problem. Like, they can drop 18 grand and be fine. Like, that's for their show, But for, like, an independent sort of show that kind of just puts them out for people,
or even like, people who are, like, just starting up, like, what are they gonna do?
People who are just starting. I mean, it's gone from, you could have 4 people on one console, so you'd be able to get 4 people in one shot for one console. It's about $300 a console back then, so $300 at $350 in your Xbox Live subscription if you do need Xbox Live shots. You're talking $400 including the capture card price, editing software. So $500 back like 10 years ago would be able to get you everything you needed to make a Machinima. $500 today will just get you the console. It won't get you the games. It won't get you the Xbox Live subscription. Hell, it won't even get you the TV, the editing software, or the capture card. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more that goes into it now, and it's really making it harder for people to even have this as a startup sort of thing. And it really concerns me for the future of the filmmaking genre. And so when a lot of people bring up, like, is Machinima dying? Or is Machinima dead? Well, no. Like, I don't think it's dying or dead, but it's just becoming a lot harder, and a lot of people that may have had an opportunity to get into it like 10 years ago, because, like, a lot of people that get into Machinima filmmaking, like, to start, like, they're in their early teens, or like 15, 16, and so now it's making it so where people who want to get in and start, like, unless they have, like, professional equipment, they're going to end up using their DVR from the Xbox One or whatever, and ultimately it's going to end up becoming, like, a lot shorter. It's going to end up becoming, like, a lot less quality based in terms of, like, being able to get, like, equipment together, and it's just really scary. I mean, the whole thing right now is really scary, the way things are developing right now, and I feel really bad for anybody that wasn't able to start up when, like, I started CN'P, because that was a perfect time for anybody that wanted to start a production like this on a really good budget compared to today. So
yeah,
but that by no means, don't give up for anybody out there.
That's not to say, I just actually had someone don't today. Try. Because
I'm not saying don't try.
Like we want people. But
I'm
just
saying
going,
you're gonna have to drop a lot of money today.
Right.
But that by no means, don't give up for anybody out there. I just actually had someone today. He's working on a comic. His name is Radical Nomad, and he sent me a video, actually. It was a Machinima made in, what's that, Rocket League?
Yeah.
Yeah, never thought I'd see a Machinima done in that game, but I tell you what, it's a very, very interesting series. The channel that it is on is called Incompetent League. Incompetent League episode 1 is the one I am referencing. So if you guys would like to go leave some likes on that, it's like Red versus Blue meets Cars, like Pixar. It's a very interesting little show. Just found it tonight, actually. So if you guys could go check that out, give them some feedback, and tell them that Alexo sent you guys. Jared, is there any words you would like to give to the audience?
Machinima. Like, just go out and do it. Like, the things are getting harder, but I mean, things that, hold on, there's something going on over here. Okay, look, the cat thing, alright, look, man, I can't be doing this right now, alright? There's a microphone over here. Look.
Jared, the audience hears you about the cat.
Shit! You didn't hear shit!
Oh god. Oh my god. Jared? Guys, I think we lost him. Well, that has been our episode of E1M9, I guess. I don't... He's back! He's back! Is the kitty alright? Is the kitty alright?
No, it's dead. It's...
Well, there's always next Christmas. Anyway, that has been our episode today here on E1M9. I'd like to thank everybody for checking out the episode today, even though it's been a really long one. But that's not such a bad thing. You guys get more content here on the channel, which, towards the end of next week, we're going to be announcing more things for the CN'P anniversary special next month in May. We're going to be releasing CN'Ps every month in May, or every month in May! Yes! Every month! Yes!
Once a month we'll make a video
Yes!
and then we'll drop off the face of the earth for the rest of the month.
We're going to be releasing CN'P episodes every week in May, and we're going to be having a CN'P anniversary special webcam stream event live on YouTube, which I would like to ask you guys in the comments, if you did listen to this entire episode, tell us a date that you guys would like us to do for the anniversary. Would you like to do the 24th, the 27th, or the 28th of May? Give us an answer, because we're trying to ask some people to make sure that the dates, according to everyone's schedule, who wants to show up. So if it would be better for fans on a Tuesday because it's more towards the end of the school year, or if it's better for people on a weekend because it's just the weekend, let us know in the comments below. If you guys want to be featured on our next episode, tweet us at that hashtag E1M9. This has been Alexo, and guest for the first time ever on E1M9.
Yeah.
That guy, Jared Carey, co-producer at CN'P Halo 5. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys on the next episode of E1M9 next week, weekly series. Subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe and like for our weekly episodes. Thank you guys so much.